projects eventually.
Okay. But gas, a very integral part of this whole process. You have the Nigeria Gas Company. I understand we have several meetings about sorting out this gas challenge. And we also read that the government is getting shopping for investors, especially with the provision of this gas pipeline. How successful has all of this gone?
Oh, quite a lot of success has been recorded. You know, the government itself has moved over and above the discussions and negotiations between NDPHC and the gas producers and the gas transporter. The government has come up with the gas master plan, which one of the measures put in place there is the gas agglomeration company of Nigeria, which is not really government owned, but it's NNPC and oil majors owned, and their responsibility is to deal with the problem of a domestic gas supply for domestic consumption. And of course, the major domestic consumer is power. And that is on. And the various projects that are being done for the NIPP, 16 or 18 of them in number, they all are recording successes. Some of them have been completed, and some are very nearing completion. So on the gas issue, the ministry, also the Ministry of Petroleum and the NNPC, you know, NNPC has a gas and power directorate now that is also dealing with these issues. And they have added capacity to what existed even as at last year. But now you will say that these power stations, as they come on, there are more chances of having gas to run the plants than we had last year.
What do you think is our greatest challenge, you know, that is between us and actualizing distribution to almost all of Nigeria in the time we say we want to give it?
Well, it is a question of consistency. If we want to distribute power to the whole of Nigeria, it is possible. If we make investments in that direction consistently. I wouldn't want to say in the shortest possible time, but in some decent within some decent interval, it should be possible to achieve it. And now, you know, the private sector has come in, and they have taken, or they are taking possession of the various discos. It is expected also that the states where these things are located, the communities there, are likely going to bring some pressure to bear on them to make sure that the part of their contracts that deal with expansion of the system is also, you know, fast forwarded. That they try to, and then the rural electrification agency is also got some mandate to deal with the areas where it is not really commercially viable to begin to do these extensions for distribution. So with all this working together, and the state governments, I'm sure, will have to reach some understanding and accommodation with the distribution companies that when the states determine areas of need that have to be addressed, there should be some cooperation to make sure that that happens. I mean, no matter where the funding comes from.
Some people say that the laws are also standing in the way because they say, yes, much as states are allowed to go into production or even private companies into generation, as it were, everything still has to be channeled through one national grid. Do you see that as a particular problem?
Yes and no. Yes, because it's a problem. It's big management, you know. It is also the kind of thing you want to get away from by unbundling the other stages of the industry, the generation, distribution. There was over-centralization that got in the way of proper management of the portfolios. But if we now, get the transmission system broken into two, for example, as it is physically, existing now, there is a control center